Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be doing a video on the classes I am most excited for in the 11.1 patch. I get this question asked all the time, what am I most excited for? So I'm just going to do a video on the specs I am most excited for in 11.1. So first one is going to be my druid. My druid has been my main for a while, and it is going to be the next uh, it's going to be pretty much something I'm going to be playing next in the 11.1 Undermine. So it's not really anything new. If you've been around my channel, I really enjoy Druid. I plan on playing Feral and Boomkin. Boomkin has been my main spec usually, but I still been enjoying Feral a lot. I'm excited for 11.1 Feral Druid because the bleed playstyle is my favorite playstyle for Feral, and it's still going to be good in 11.1. Um, at 11.1, they didn't really change too terribly much for Feral that I saw. There is a lot of patch notes, but a lot of it was seemingly for like hunters and stuff. But they did get some buffs. They nerfed a few things at the start, but they kind of compensated it for like buffs to like talents. Like this one increases rake and rip damage by 10%. This increases physical damage by 5%. This one increases ferocious by damage by 8%. So they did kind of buff it that way. Also, later down the line, they buffed all their damage again a few times. So they even got more buffs with that. So I'm excited to play Feral pretty much because the bleed playstyle is going to be pretty good. The class overall itself is fun. It's decent 1v1s. It's got better survivability than it did in Dragonflight still. So if you are excited to play a mobility class, can be obviously immune to sheep, can self-sustain heal itself, has Cyclone, which is one of the best CCs in the game for PvP, although Cyclone, heads up, did get nerfed by 1 second, so it's 5 seconds now, so all the people that are excited by Cyclone nerf can be happy about that, because I know Cyclone was complained about a lot. But yeah, so if you're into a class that has really good mobility, can be immune to sheep, can get shift out of roots, has Cyclone, which is one of the stronger CCs in the game, decent self-healing, decent survivability, then you will love Feral. Up next is Balance Druid. This has been something I have played for quite a long time. And kind of similar to Feral, they didn't really get too terribly many changes other than the left side of the talent tree, which is the same as Feral. Obviously, you're going to be running different things like the Moonkin talents and all that stuff. But the right side didn't get too terribly much changes. They did get some damage buffs, like a Star Surge buff, which would be pretty nice. So Star Surge will hit a little bit harder. Anything else, I don't too terribly remember that they got anything like, too majorly impressive. But I highly recommend Balance Trade if you're looking for a caster. They can do a lot of things. Unfortunately, their self-healing compared to Feral is not that great, so that's the only downside. I do feel like their survivability is not as great this expansion, at least comparing it to Dragonflight. So it's kind of like the opposite effect, where Feral's survivability did get better in the War Within, and it was not as amazing in Dragonflight. And in Boomkin, in my opinion, their survivability did not get as it got worse in the War Within, and it was better in Dragonflight. Personal opinion, that's just my experience. Some people might disagree with me, but that's what I'm thinking so far. However, outside of that, Balanced Dread has some of the best single target bursts in the game. You can hit really hard with this build. I've been playing with the Full Moon build recently in Battlegrounds, and it hits like a truck. The only downside is it does have a long cast time, even with some haste. So do keep that in mind. But it is a lot of fun. Balanced Dread has always been really good for Battlegrounds, Battleground Blitz. I don't really do a whole lot of arena, so I can't speak for that. World PvP, they're not too terribly bad, not the best, but you can do some really cool tricks with like flight form, get when you need to get away, and they have decent mobility, etc. So, they're a lot of fun there. But yeah, if you want to play a caster that is really good in Battlegrounds specifically, like how much I do battlegrounds, then Boomkin will be for you. You can you have baseline Starfall, which is not really a new thing this patch, but you know, I just want to talk about the things I'm excited for. And you got really good single target burst with full moon. So this is why I highly recommend playing Boomkin, as they just have really good support. They can do good single target damage, and they can do really good AoE damage. So highly recommend trying out Boomkin if you haven't tried it. A lot of fun. And with that, let's move on to the next spec. Alright, up next is a Marksman Hunter. This is something I'm definitely excited to try in the next patch. This probably got the most changes out of everything so far on the PTR that I've seen. They got incredible amount of changes, another rework. So some just examples is that Intimidation summons an eagle, and apparently you can do it without the line of sight used against players. So if somebody line of sights you, you can still stun them through the wall. That's going to be very interesting. So you can basically stun them. Also, you do have heroism now automatically, so you don't have to use a pet for it. So that'll be pretty nice, because it's just another person to use heroism that probably won't end up using it, because mages, evokers, etc., and shamans, of course. Although shamans, to be fair, do have a talent, so but they never like to use heroism for whatever reason. I don't know why. But yeah, so another class that likes to use, hopefully will use it. So we do have that. Also, you won't need a pet to use Master's Call. So you can see I have no pet on me now, and you can use Master's Call. So that'll be pretty nice and helpful for battlegrounds. Double tap is now back. So, for example, it's not the same. You have to use it with True Shot. So, for example, casting True Shot or Volley grants double tap, causing your next aim shot or rapid fire to gain 80% power. So you can use it with Volley. Like, for example, let's use Volley right now. Now I got double tap, so we'll go ahead and rapid fire. Although I'm kind of attacking trained tanking dummies. I was trying to get away from like a lot of people, so let's go over to this one instead. Alright, so let's go ahead and use True Shot right here. And you can see I got rapid fire and double tap. And that's pretty much how it is. So let me use Volley one more time. So you can pretty much get double tap twice. That would be pretty huge. So imagine using Volley into rapid fire for the double tap with that, and then you use True Shot after that. And that'll be huge. My Marksman could actually do some pretty crazy damage with that, I believe. So, but yeah, you can see Marksman just has a lot of changes. It's like so much to cover. But those are the most noticeable ones that I saw that were pretty nice to have. So double tap, you can do that twice between having Volley, and you can double tap right there, and then True Shot and double tap again. Like, Marksman Hunter will probably be back to 100-0ing people pretty quick, but, you know, we'll see. So they'll be a huge threat for battlegrounds again. Intimidation for line of sight against people that are trying to line of sighting you will be pretty nice. And then we did lose one honor talent for True Shot, but it pretty much got baked into another talent, which is Sniper's Advantage. So we did lose Sniper Shot. I'm going to kind of miss that ability, but it could be frustrating sometimes. But it is pretty much baked into True Shot if you run that honor talent now. So other than that, yeah, there's a lot of other changes, like with the whole with these spotters mark stuff. But like I said, I'm excited to try Marksman Hunter. It's going to be some really fun changes. I highly recommend giving this a try in 11.1, just to try it out, see if you like it. I think it'll be really fun for battlegrounds, which is mostly what I do. And yeah, let's move on to the next spec. Alright guys, the next class I'm excited for is Havoc Demon Hunter. This is kind of more so in the druid department. They didn't really get too much changes. I was excited for one change, but they did end up nerfing it, which I knew was going to happen anyways. But they ended up nerfing Cycle of Hatred, where you could be in a permanently in Metamorphosis, which was actually quite funny and hilarious. I tested it out on a stream a while back, but I'm still excited to play Demon Hunter and 11.1. It's not really like anything new that's changing, but so I'll just kind of like explain why I'm excited to play 11.1 Demon Hunter. I'm a huge fan of mobility classes, and you can just do really cool tricks. So if you haven't played Demon Hunter, and kind of just want a selling point on why to play it, it's a really cool mobility class, and you can do things other classes can't. Like, for example, you can just do these kind of cool things where you could just glide across stuff like that. You can also get into cool areas that other classes can't. Like, for example, you can jump up on towers in AV, or if you get knocked back, you can just fell rush back, you know, stuff like that. Also, the class has a pretty much a built-in glider. And also, you can double jump, and if you're a PvPer like me, everybody always likes to jump. It's just, I feel like I see that all the time. It's just become a natural habit for some reason. Also, we got Glimpse, which is really nice to dodge CC if you can time it right. It is kind of a skill thing to do if you can kind of predict when people can do. And it's nice. But yeah, other than that, 11.1, we did lose our mastery talent, so we did lose a little bit of damage, although they did recently just buff our damage a little bit. I don't know if it'll be enough to kind of make up for the mastery talent we're losing, so hard to say. The only downside to playing Demon Hunter is I feel like our defenses are really bad, in my opinion. Some people might disagree with me on that, and that's perfectly fine, but I think Demon Hunter defenses, maybe it's just because I play so many different things, but comparing it to a bunch of other things, I think our defenses are definitely not as great. Personal opinion. But outside of that, Demon Hunter is a lot of fun. You can do a lot of cool tricks you can't do on other things. So I highly recommend giving Demon Hunter a try if you haven't in 11.1. And yeah, let's move on to the next spec. Alright guys, up next is Evoker, and Evoker is another one I am excited for to play in The War Within. It's pretty much the exact same thing as it is in 0.7 at the moment. The difference is they did get some damage buffs, so if you enjoyed it in 11.0.7, you will enjoy it in 11.1. The reason why I'm excited for this is because in my opinion, I've said this tons of times on stream and in videos, they got the best hero talent tree this expansion. It is a lot of fun. I love the hero talent tree they did this expansion. For those that don't know why, Scale Commander pretty much lets you control the way Deep Breath can move. So before this hero talent was a thing, like for example, let me just get rid of this. You know what? Actually, let's just switch to Flame Shaper real quick so I can give you guys a general idea on what I mean. So let me just pick talents real quick so we can do it. So basically what it was like is you have to like aim it, right? Versus the other one, so you can see the green line, right? And you can't control it, right? Like I'm trying really hard to control it, and then obviously I went off the cliff because I was too busy doing that, but you kind of get the general idea. You can't really control it. And for Scale Commander, let me change that real quick. And for Scale Commander, you can you don't even have to do the green thing, and you can control the direction of it. So it is a lot of fun, and it is the most fun ability in the game because of that hero talent. It's a lot of fun. It's one of the few best ones anyways. So I'm excited to play some more Evoker in 11.1. Pretty much for just, it's the same thing it was in 11.0.7. They did get some damage increases. Otherwise, yeah, that's a lot of fun. You can do some other really cool tricks. Like for example, there is a PvP talent where you can just grab an enemy near and put them near a cliff and then knock them off with wing buffets. So that's also really fun. And also the fact that Evoker can be immune to CC. They're one of the few classes that can with Nullifying Shroud. Although, be warned, it can be spell stolen, purged, and all that stuff. So And also rogues can just spam sap you if you don't get in combat quick enough to get it automatically removed as well. So do keep that in mind. But yeah, this is the reason why I'm excited to play Evoker in 11.1. And let's move on to the next spec. Alright, this is probably going to shock a lot of you guys, but the final one is going to be Rogue. And it's going to be Assassin. I am going to be playing Assassin just because I like playing the rock classes. Like, you know, it's similar to Feral. And since I play Feral, it's kind of similar. The only difference is that it, in my opinion, it's more squishy than Feral. But Rogue has always been pretty good. I can never think of a time they're really generally pretty bad. They have some of the best defenses in the game. They have stealth. You know, I just can't think of any other... I can't think of any downsides to playing Rogue. I can't. I'm sure people probably can, but I just can't think of any single downsides to playing Rogue. For Assassin specifically, they didn't really change much other than we do have a new PvP talent now, and they removed the Cloak of Shadows PvP talent, so we might struggle against barrels and all that stuff a little bit more now. So, but they did give us a new PvP talent called Preemptive Maneuver, and Feint decreases your damage taken by additional 40% while stunned, and its energy cost is reduced by 30%. So if you can time it right, but when you're about to get stunned, that'll definitely help out if you're running elusiveness. So outside of that, not really too much terribly changes, but I am excited to play Rogue in 11.1. And that's probably about the classes I'm excited to play the most. Some other honorable mentions that I will say that I'm excited to play, but was not like as thrilled, would probably be Ret Paladin, Frost Mage, and Windwalker Monk. I will, of course, be playing those as well. I'm excited to try those out, but probably won't be playing those as much as the ones I've listed in this video. So, but those are some honorable mentions. If I didn't name your class slash spec, I apologize. Those were just ones that didn't interest me as much. So, that's it for the video. Let me know what you guys think, whether you agree or disagree with some of my choices. Yeah, I know a lot of them didn't. A lot of them were kind of like damage buffs, but yeah, personal opinion. Um, those are the ones that I'm excited for. If you have any ones you're excited for, let me know in the comment section down below. And I will see you guys later. Peace.